They carry a spirit even when it seems dark. And it's not really. It turns out that if you read and study the Buddhist teachings, the most fundamental teachings of the Four Noble Truths, what you understand is that suffering, which is the first noble truth, that life has suffering, not that life is suffering, because it's magnificent and unbearably beautiful. And it has suffering. Anybody not have suffering, you can, sign off now and I wish you well, tell us how it is. But it has suffering. But that is only the first noble truth. It's not the end of the story. There are causes for suffering among humanity: greed, hatred, ignorance, fear, prejudice. These ignorance and racism and prejudice and fear and greed, societies based on greed and fostering hatred, they will suffer. Lives based on this will bring suffering. But that's only the second noble truth. Then the third truth is that there is peace, that peace is possible. And that the fourth, that there's a path, there are practices of compassion and mindful, loving awareness of living with integrity, of quieting the mind and opening the heart, that allow you to live in this ever-changing world with an inner freedom that no one can take from you. But if we turn our attention in another way, we can see it as the darkness of the womb. That in fact we are in a birth process, and anybody who's given birth or even attended a birth, as I have, because I certainly haven't given birth in this incarnation, knows that birth is not that easy. It's messy, sometimes it's bloody, it's painful, it goes on a lot longer than you thought it would. It's dangerous in different ways. And there are contractions that come, and then they pause, and then they're peaceful, and then a huge new contraction comes. It's this amazing process that the body becomes a channel for new beings to come into this planet. It's extraordinary. And what if we are in a birth process collectively? Valerie asks, and I pose it to you. What if, in fact, it's not the darkness of the tomb, but the darkness of a womb of new birth? What if we hold it that way and work toward it? So those who carry the spirit are beacons who remind people that suffering is not the end of the story. That in fact we've lived through pandemics and earthquakes and typhoons and all kinds of things, and world wars and battles. And something in us knows how to be reborn, how to survive the difficulties. It's in your DNA. Your ancestors are cheering for you to say, go baby, you know how to do this. We did it before you, and now it's your time. And that the story, that suffering is not the end of the story, but human magnificence and care for one another and the possibility of a new birth.